So guys, as we pivot to the next segment, Soundtrack to the Soul, I wanted to ask you, Tim, like how it all started for you.
I would say,
shout out to Virginia, by the way, Norfolk, Virginia,
Yeah,
DMV boy. You know, I'm with y'all over there. You know,
I think it's more of passion and really like commitment and this having a dream and being hopeful. Missy was always there. She was the one who really, like I always say, she was the one. But at the same time, it was just, I don't know, God put things in you that you just can't quit. And you don't have no explanation for it. You be like, you can't. It's hard to think because you be like, well, you might.
You gonna make me cry on this joint, bro. That's my biggest struggle.
It is, bro. Like you don't know.
Because it's the unexplainable burn in your soul that was telling you, I'm going to do music.
Because I ain't had nothing else. I wasn't educated.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the smartest person in school. It's like I didn't mind working, but as soon as I got to music, it took all. I didn't feel broke when I was. I didn't feel empty when the stuff. I didn't notice the roaches on the wall because music had me say it's gonna take me. I just knew it was gonna take me far.
Yeah.
We was going through your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, and we heard you say that Missy was like, you was DJing, you know, and Missy was like, you know, you're gonna be a good producer. But you DJing, what made her say, what about DJing made her say you could be a good producer? Because you and I know those are two different things, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, bro. Like, you gotta ask her, man. Like, God will.
Because she was right.
You know, God will bring people in your life, man. You just that see stuff in you that you will never see in yourself.
Oh, yeah, man, brother.
So it just be, I don't know, man. And why I love doing like these shows is you get to, because I feel like as we travel in life, we don't look at our highlights. Mm-hmm. And this is a part of looking at our highlights of our journey. Like that, because now these are questions I would never ask myself because I didn't live day by day and day. Yeah. So these things, when I do when I do podcasts and I have these talks, it's so beautiful to me because it's like
you revisiting.
When I go back and I'm like, it just showed me like none of it was me. You just look, it's you doing it because you gotta walk the path. But then you think like, yo, it was God because I don't have that mindset to go do that. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have thought of to go do that. I would have, Tim would have went over there. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, when I'm hearing it back, I'm like, I feel stupid, but I'm not stupid, but I feel like I really don't know. Because you're so in the moment of, and things that just happen in the moment, and it just and it becomes your lifestyle.
Mm. When you early on, when you first discovered this gift that you had, was it always easy? And if there was any moment where there was some adversity, how did you deal with it early on? Is it different than the way you deal with things now, or as you grew? And what changed?
I feel like my adversity came later on. But if I had to go back and look back at it, I had to put in my 10,000 hours, so I can't consider that adversity. Mm. So I had to look at that as like, yo, that prepared me. Those 10 years sitting under Devontae and stuff prepared me for my first hit and second hit. But I had to go through the process of just, am I ready for this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then the other stuff what had hit me is as I was having success, I thought I was the one making it happen. So that means I put God to the back burner and I put me in front. So meaning that I kind of lost, and I thought it was me that was making these things happen. So ego came in. So all the gluttony of the world and all the things that people tell you, people try to warn you, it just attack you. You can't even never see it. Even sometimes your friends won't even see it because they living it with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's that was the only time where I can say I felt you know, when I just fell short and I got caught into everything outside of, I was, how can you say it? I wasn't, the best way to say I wasn't giving the credit to God. I was telling that Tim could do it. And once I said, Tim is doing that, Tim is me, he took my ability to hear, which was my gift, taste. So when I was hearing stuff, it was discombobulated once, and I'm like, yo, something off. And from that point on, that was probably the most trying thing, is forgetting about God and taking that gift kind of away. And I'm like, you could take money, but when you take that gift.
So how do you know when God does that? How did you know when God,
because everything I was making, it didn't hit my spirit the same way.
When did God speak to you again?
Once I just accepted, like, this really just having like reality checks and vision and certain things, and then slowly but surely stuff started coming back. My ear, how I was hearing rhythm, because I was like, yo, why like when the Migos came out with Bad and Bougie, I couldn't understand the flow. Me of all people. It was like it was dope. I knew it was dope, but it was like I couldn't catch the rhythm. And I said that was the part that bothered me, because I am the rhythm king.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was like, you know, that's when it really hit me. I'm like, oh man, something is off. And then, you know, as I started to look at myself and start to reevaluate everything about me, and I started to change my life. I noticed when I started hearing music, my opinion was being more accurate. Yeah. My kids were saying, I was like, no, that's off. They should go. We should do. I was like trading places. Randolph, we're back. Like, I'm back.
Yeah. Was when you reference God, is that like a church thing, or was it like a divinity thing?
I mean, well, as you know, God, church is something that we made, right? Mm-hmm. But it's more of a connection, knowing that it's a spiritual thing. That my mom is very in the church, and you know, as a son, I was whatever. Like me and Pharrell, we all grew up in the same place, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His grandmother was like Pentecostal. We all grew up Pentecostal. So it's just like the doctrine of my mom putting that in me. So at the end of the day, you got to build your own relationship with God out. This is not a building or a thing. Yeah. And so once I started doing that, it's more divinity, and it's a spirit, it's a connection to hear.
Yeah.
I don't have friends, and I know it's him, because I don't call people for advice. I pray on it, and I really did just really, really pray on it to try to get an answer. Yeah. You know, or a notion. So it's like, it's not a church thing. It's more like, I know what brought me out of this sunken place that I was in. Yeah.